So we're prepping our FRS for Ontario 1500, and we need to put some serious aero on it because we're going to be running on some high-speed circuits. But I love our little Zele wing. It's just such a unique looking piece.
That's not a wing. This is a wing, and it's pure badass, and it's functional. And we're going to show you guys how to install it. Get rid of this little dinky guy.
All right, bring it on, PT.
Let's do it.
So sadly, it's time to take the little Zele wing off here, and admittedly, it's not that serious a wing when it's held on with 4 little 10mm bolts. So this will take all of 30 seconds to do, and then we can move on to some serious aero.
With the bolts out, the wing was held in place by some 3M tape, which proved to be a little bit more difficult to remove than I anticipated. But hey, that's why it's the best double-sided tape on the market.
Trying a plastic pry tool. This should work. At least it's not going to mar the paint or anything if it doesn't work. It's going to be a harmless fail. Feeling like the string method's what we need, eh?
This actually is working. It's just cumbersome.
It's so thick.
So it might.
If I pry on the wing a bit, like.
As usual, we don't have the right tools for this job, but I'm gonna try using a piece of wire and this little pry plastic bar. I don't even know what it's called, but it should work well. I'd recommend, I think they use piano string, don't they, Dave?
Yeah, that or some kind of high quality string.
Yeah, this seems to work okay until our wire starts fraying and then it breaks and then we have to restart from scratch. But that's alright, see? Hey, when you don't got the right tools for the job, you just gotta roll it, right?
It works, man. That would be your little plastic.
Right, get in there.
Oh yeah, look at that. In case you're wondering what we're cutting, it's just like a 3M double-sided adhesive tape, right?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
pretty damn strong. If you've ever used 3M tape before, you know it's sticky stuff.
What?
Getting close.
Look at that. Oh, so close. So close. You know what? Sometimes at this point,
yeah.
just gotta muscle it.
Woo! Very nice. As they say in Kazakhstan, a great success.
The instructions that came with the Voltex wing are all in Japanese, and there's no pictures, so we're left with kind of figuring this out on our own. We have to install this backing plate onto a trunk, and before we go cutting up ours, we've got this spare one kicking around that we're going to try to test fit on. We're going to have to cut these little plates out here. We've figured out that this doesn't fit properly, so yeah, we're going to do that, test it out, and if that works, we're actually going to go do it on our own trunk.
With a die grinder equipped with a cutting disc, Pete made short work of removing the inner layer of the trunk lid in the spots required to fit the backing plate. And miraculously, he didn't cut right through into the trunk's outer layer. Every once in a while, we do it right.
Alright, looks like we've got some success here. Now I'm just going to have to do it to the other trunk. A little bit better trimming in the center section, but we'll take it from there.
It's really not a complicated job at all. Just be careful when using a cutting wheel as it tends to skip out of the groove on this curved surface. And the last thing we want is for you to get hurt.
There we go, look at that.
The next step was to drill out the wing mount holes, which we did using the backing plate holes as templates. We then installed the wing mounts, and that would hold the backing plate securely for the next part of the job.
So we've sandwiched the backing plate in place here with the base plates on the top side of the trunk. and we've noticed that the bottom two bolts are a little on the short side, but we're hoping that once we rivet it around the perimeter, as the holes would indicate we're supposed to do, that it'll suck it in a little tighter and that those bolts will be the right length. We'll see if that works. We've riveted in the backing plate now, and unfortunately these bottom bolts on the base plates on the top side just aren't quite long enough. We could get a nut on it here without the foam and metal washer, but on this side we can't even get the nut started, so we're just going to go over to our local hardware store, get a matching bolt just a 1/4 inch longer. There's lots of room in here to do that, so I think they were just trying to be a little bit too JDM tight with the length of their bolts on this, and we're going to fix that up. So we're finally ready to install these swan neck uprights. And you can see why they're called swan neck, obviously, but I noticed that they have multiple mounting holes on the bottom, which is pretty cool because it allows you to adjust the position of the wing ever so slightly. So if you want it a little bit further back so you get more downforce, you know, the further back the wing is, the more leverage it has on the chassis. So you can actually fine-tune the position of the wing just by using these 4 bolt holes at the bottom of this upright, which is very clever. Top marks for that Voltex. It's not exactly bolted down tight yet, but it looks good.
We are officially
Race car
spec now. No more driving this thing on the street without getting in trouble. Not with a wing like that.
So now that we've got the wing bolted on the chassis, I just want to run down some specs with you quickly so you understand what it's all about. This is the Type 7 GT wing from Voltex, and it's 1600 millimeters in span, 355 millimeters in chord. And you can see it has quite an aggressive profile in it. And it's really designed for GT cars, meaning fairly high horsepower rear-wheel drive cars, which this will be once we get to the engine bay. We of course sourced this from Evasive Motorsports in California, who are pretty much the exclusive distributor of Voltex for America. And so if you want a swan neck wing like this, they're the guys to go to. Speaking of swan neck, why we wanted a swan neck mounting system is that it frees up the bottom side of the wing, and it's really the bottom side of the wing, the curvature on the bottom side, that makes the downforce. So by clearing off that space, it allows the wing to make downforce more efficiently. That's really the trick with these swan necks. It's not just to look cool.
But wait, you didn't think we'd actually end this episode without showing you what the FRS looks like with its new wing and brand new shiny wheels and tires.
And they're off! Starting with these absolutely stunning forged 5-spoke Advan GT wheels with all the concave and all the racing titanium blue. Add the super aggressive look of the Voltex wing and suddenly our FRS is starting to look like a Japanese time attack car. Top it off with a set of super sticky Toyo R1R tires and we're one step closer to snapping necks and setting lap records.
The JDM gods have smiled upon us this day. They brought us from Suzuka, the Voltex wing and the Advan wheel. Thank you.
They certainly have. And I think we're gonna sit around here for another 10 minutes admiring these new upgrades. But we've got more episodes coming up real soon. Make sure to subscribe to our channel as well. And we will see you, hopefully, next week.
With more JDM!